Welcome to the 6.2 video on the converse of the Pythagorean theorem. We're going to use the information that we learned in section 6.1 and we're going to expand our knowledge on the Pythagorean theorem. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, in your notebook, please jot down the converse of the Pythagorean theorem. So take a second to jot this down. The converse of the Pythagorean theorem states that if a squared plus b squared equals c squared, then the triangle is a right triangle. So when we're using the converse of the Pythagorean theorem, we have three sides, and we know side A, we know side B, and we know side C, and we're trying to determine whether or not those three sides will produce a right angle. So take a second to press pause, make sure you have that jotted down in your notebook. All right, here are two problems that we're going to try. We need to determine whether or not these three side lengths will give us a perfect right triangle. So again, anytime I'm using the Pythagorean theorem or any formula, I always start by writing the formula down. So a squared plus b squared. In this case, I want to know, does it equal c squared? Okay, because that's the question. We want to find out, does a squared plus b squared equal c squared? Now, in section 6.1, we learned that the hypotenuse, or side C, is always the longest side. So when I'm looking at question 1, I know 25 needs to be filled in here for side C. Now, it doesn't matter what I choose for side A and side B. Typically, when I'm doing this, I usually put the smallest side for A, the next side for B, and then that helps me remember that the longest side is C, but that doesn't mean that it has to go in that order. And what I need to do here is square my A, my B, and my C. All right, I'm just going to continue now. 7 squared is 49. 24 squared is 576. And I want to know if the sum of those two equals 25 squared, which is 625. When I add 49 and 576, I do get 625. So 625 is, of course, equal to 625. So at this point, what I can conclude is that if I have a triangle with side lengths of 7, 25, and 24, this will indeed make a right triangle. So yes, I will have a right triangle. All right, let's try question 2. So I have three sides, 9, 2, and 3. So again, I'm going to start out with my Pythagorean theorem. A squared plus b squared, I want to see if it will equal c squared. Okay, again, I'm going to pick the longest side for c. So I'm going to fill in 9 squared here for c. And again, just out of habit, so I don't make a mistake, I always make the smallest side a. Again, that doesn't really matter. You can flip a and b around. So right now I want to see if 2 squared plus 3 squared equals 9 squared. So 2 squared is 4 plus 3 squared is 9. Does that equal 9 squared, which is 81? And I think you can tell already that 4 plus 9 is pretty small. That's 13. That will not equal 81. So according to the converse of the Pythagorean theorem, if I have three sides, 9, 2, and 3, I will not create a perfect right triangle. So that one will not work. Moving on here, another practice problem that we can do with the Pythagorean theorem and its converse is one like this. So if I have a television cabinet that I want to put a new TV in, I need to know that television sets are generally measured diagonally. So that means from corner to opposite corner, just like this here. And they'll classify them or market them as 40-inch, 46-inch, or 50-inch TVs. So let's suppose that my TV cabinet or the shelf that I want to put my new TV on is 36 inches long. So this part of my cabinet is 36 inches. So I'm going to label that. And let's say it's 32 inches high. All right, so that's 32 inches. I want to know how big of a TV can I get. So remember, we're measuring this diagonal here. So hopefully you can see that I just created a right triangle. All right, the side opposite the right angle, again, of course, is my hypotenuse. So I'm going to label that as C. And I'm going to start writing my formula. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. All right, to fill this in, I'm going to just label 32 is my side A and 36 is my side B. Those two you could flip around. So 32 squared plus 36 squared equals C squared. When I grab my calculator and I square 32, I get 1,024. And when I square 36, I get 1,296. All right, when I calculate that sum of my A squared plus B squared, I get 2,320. So that equals C squared. And if you remember from the 6.1 lesson, to undo the squared term, I'm going to need to take the square root of both sides. So the square root of C squared is C, and the square root of 2,320 is about 48.2 inches. So the biggest TV I could probably get would probably be a 48-inch TV, leaving 2/10 of an inch on either side as room to slide the TV in and out. All right, at this point you should know the drill. Solve these two questions on your own. That means without a partner or friend to help you through it. Check your answers with your teacher to earn your homework. So take a second to press pause on the video until you have all the information gathered and needed in your notebook to solve questions 1 and 2.